And is your unit up or do you need a charger?
No, I can use my phone. Yeah.
Well, we can wait a minute.
No, it's my phone. I've got the agenda on my phone.
Oh, you okay? All right, it was good. I know that one. I'm going to call this meeting of the Board of Trustees into open session. Jennifer, would you please call the roll?
Here.
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 Here. We will move to Pledge of Allegiance. Cindy, our student trustee, will lead us today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The board did meet in closed session, but took no action today. With that, we will move to item 5, public comments of open session. At this time, the public may address the Board of Trustees on any matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board that is not on the agenda. Public may address the Board of Trustees on each of the agenda items as those items are considered. Each speaker will be allowed 5 minutes per topic. 20 minutes shall be the maximum time allotment for public speakers on any one subject, regardless of the number of speakers at any one board meeting. At the discretion of the majority of the board, these times may be extended. Each person who addresses the board must first be recognized by the presiding officer. Comments must be addressed to the board as a whole and not to individual members or district employees. Board and staff are not obligated to comment on or respond to or address comments by the public. At the opening of this meeting, names and agenda items were taken for public comment. Are there any additional members of the public who wish to make public comments? Please state your name and the item you wish to address. Seeing none, I will take the items presented to me. Miss Julie Beechner.
Good afternoon, trustees. My name is Julie Beechenor, and I serve as the animal science professor at Bakersfield College and the advisor to the rodeo team and club. I appreciate the opportunity to share some exciting updates regarding new developments within the rodeo team at Bakersfield College. Since its inception in fall of 2021, the rodeo team has been dedicated to providing opportunities for members to compete in college rodeo within the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association, NIRA, and the West Coast region. Our athletes compete against peers from institutions such as Allen Hancock College, Cal Poly State University at San Luis, California State University at Fresno, West Hills College, Feather River College, University of Nevada at Las Vegas, and University of Nevada at Reno. Collectively, these colleges bring together over 200 athletes for highly competitive rodeo events each fall and spring. We owe a debt of gratitude to former head coach Andrea Price, who laid a strong foundation for the team before her resignation in July of this year. Her dedication has greatly contributed to the recognition and drive that the team exhibits today. As the team As the team's advisor, I am committed to fostering an environment where students can excel. My support of education, agriculture, and student organizations such as College Rodeo should reflect my core values and dedication to this community. Like you, I strive to deliver outstanding educational programs and services that meet the needs of our diverse students and community. I am grateful for the leadership of the Kern Community College District, Bakersfield College, and the Agriculture Department that allows programs such as this to dream big, do more, and change lives. Allow me just a brief moment to share some highlights that are specific to our rodeo team. In November of 2023, we hosted our first home rodeo event at the Kern County Fairgrounds, and this event drew a crowd of more than 2,500 attendees, featured 212 athletes, and raised more than $100,000 in funding from our local rodeo-loving community. In April of 2024, we were honored with the title of Best Rodeo of the Year by the West Coast Region NIRA Association, a prestigious accolade, especially when compared to rodeo events hosted for years by institutions like Cal Poly and UNLV. The second annual Bakersfield College Rodeo is scheduled for November 9th and 10th this year. This now two-day event will include 2 competitive performances, local merchandise and food vendors, live music, a VIP tent, sponsorship packages, and a free concert by local performer Joe Peters Saturday night. We anticipate full attendance and an action-packed weekend of rodeo at the Kern County Fairgrounds. Just a few short weeks ago, we named 2 new coaches to the team, Laramie and Vale Collins. Their bios speak for themselves, but when you combine their extensive rodeo experience, strong family values with their competitive spirit and passion to do more than the minimum, you too will agree that these are highly qualified volunteers coming to Bakersfield College. Since the addition of our new coaching staff, we have gained 6, actually 7 as of my way over here, incredible new rodeo athletes from across the state, taking our total membership to just under 20 athletes. Each of these athletes holds prestigious titles, including California High School Rodeo Association District Champions, state champions, and national champions. All-time toughest team ropers, and they have been named all-around cowboys and cowgirls in their respective districts. Some of these new recruits even have deferred offers from Cal Poly and Fresno State to come to BC and rodeo. Our team is loved and supported by this community. Not only did the Kern County Fair paint their rodeo grounds last year that beautiful Bakersfield College red for our inaugural home rodeo, they recently invested more than $100,000 into new updated rodeo facility equipment, a much needed and welcomed improvement by rodeo standards. 2 local boarding stables have offered their facilities as a home site for our practice sessions. Scholarships have been developed to support athletes from the community, and many local supporters and businesses have generously donated towards the event and towards the team. The rodeo team actively gives back to this community by participating in local events such as the Bakersfield Youth Rodeo Club, Kern County Cattlemen's and Cattlewomen's Association, Farm Day in the City hosted by Farm Bureau, the Bakersfield College Alumni Barbecue, Bakersfield College football games, the Ryder Red Farron Foundation, and our own BC Homecoming. We look forward to expanding our community engagement activities this year. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to education and for providing the opportunity to share these updates about our team. I hope to see each of you at the Bakersfield College Rodeo in November. And if I can answer any questions, I would be happy to do so. I also left some updated materials with Genevieve, who said that she would disperse those to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Pam Kelly.
Thank you. I don't know if I have this in the right spot. Thank you, KCC board and leadership. I'm going to read a statement because it's a little bit easier to read. Let me introduce myself. I've been employed at the district for 42 years. I am the longest tenured faculty of the district. I am the only female coach to win a state championship at Bakersfield College. And last year, the men's cross country team finished third in the state and won the conference for the first time in over 20 years. There are other accolades my team has, as well as myself, have received, but that's not what is important. Now, in addition to coaching, I also did counseling for 6 years. During that time, I have been employed by the district. I have spoken to the board twice. Once was last October, and the second time is today. I have read the board docs maybe a total of 10 times, but somehow I decided I was going to read them last night. And I saw my name on the board docs, which is why I'm here today. Something compelled to read them. And I was listed under human resources as a transfer. I want it noted that it is an involuntary transfer, or if you want to call it an involuntary reassignment. Because of the diverse background, I do not feel this transfer or reassignment is in the best interests of the students I work with. I also consider it retaliatory in nature for the complaints I have filed and spoke about with the Chancellor Emeritus, the Deputy Chancellor, the President, and the Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, and talked about in the October board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Paula? No?
Thanks.
You're there. I figured you were next.
Moral support. I hope everybody's doing well today and surviving the heat. I said in a meeting that I was in that when equal pay was established, that I would come and let the board meeting know. And so we are now at a point where all full-time coaches are on the pay salary, whether they're faculty, which was the case, but also with the directors of athletics, which is a great direction for us to go in. However, there is a concern. I'm the president-elect of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association for the community colleges here in California. And because I'm passionate and want to stay involved. And one of the things that we have seen is that there's a massive decline in female coaches. And it's of concern. And so today I was looking at the numbers, and this has nothing to do with the quality of the coaches that we recently hired, but I think that we need to be aware of what's going on at Bakersfield College. Currently, the percentage of sports being coached by a full-time woman, when you look at all sports with full-time coaches, is 5.6%. We have one female coach right now that is full-time, and that is our softball coach. 2 years ago, when I was still coaching and when Pam had all four sports, cross country and track and field, and she's very, very modest. This last year, one of her athletes was named state athlete of the field events, and another one of her male athletes was the all-state long jumper. And so she's very humble in the things that she's saying that she did. Last year, she was the men's cross country coach of the year. And so with her being, when I was coaching 2 years ago and Pam, we were at 33%, which is still not a great number. When we look at head coaches by all sports, and I've included with these numbers the full-time football coaches. So I'm not just counting one for football. I'm counting the 4 that we have for football right now. For all coaches, for all sports teams, we're at 8.33% women that are coaching. And that is the only 2 head coaches are softball and women's wrestling. 2 years ago, we were at 34.8%. When I filed a Title IX concern and a complaint about a hostile work environment. I was told that there would be a 360 Title IX investigation. We were in a meeting where we were discussing the director's positions. And in that meeting, I was concerned about, for the coaches, a direction that we were going because it's against state policy. And in that meeting, I was threatened by our vice chancellor that if I did not go along with things, that I would be told that I have to go back into coaching. At that point in time, I chose to remove myself from the situation, and I wasn't going to speak up anymore, but these numbers are very, very concerning to me, and the retaliation is really scary. So I was in that meeting, I asked, has there been a 360 investigation? And I was told yes. I'm the only person that I know of that was interviewed by an attorney. I know Pam wasn't. I don't believe Casey was. Pam's now going to Porterville. We know that nobody at Porterville was interviewed. So I'm asking the board to please find out about this 360 Title IX investigation that was supposed to take place. And I could be wrong. Then we've asked for the report back on this investigation. I was in a meeting where we requested it. It's been requested 2 more times by Pam, 2 times by the union. And those things have still not, we don't have any idea as to what took place. So there are just some concerns that I just want to make people aware of. Once again, this isn't talking about the quality of coaches that we've hired here at Bakersfield College, but there is a concern and something that we need to be aware of. And I just hope that you'll look into it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Glenn Clayton.
Good afternoon, board. My name is Glenn Clayton. I'm a concerned citizen here in Bakersfield. My topic I wanted to briefly give my concerns is the 3-year contract renewal. I'm not in favor of renewing the contract of the vice chancellor. Matt Garrett and his family have suffered for several years now. I've seen very, very strongly. And this kind of behavior, treatment, some say persecution needs to stop now, because this will benefit the current and future teachers and strengthen our school. So basically, that's what I wanted to say, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Matt Garrett.
Hello, board. I would like to address agenda item 15D, I think it is, the 3-year contract renewal of Mr. Abe Ali. I was really disheartened to hear Professors Paula Dahl and Pam Kelly speak to you just now about how they had previously spoke to the board and expressed concerns about discriminatory treatment. And now in response, we see that Pam Kelly is being forcefully transferred against her will. That's the same sort of retaliation that got you in the bad place with me. This sort of administrative retaliation is a common pattern at BC and KCCD, and that's not just my perspective. That's very clear in the recent KCCD climate survey that I hope you have read in full. I have, and it's chock full of employees from all across the district saying they're suffering administrative retaliation, many of them pointing directly at human resources as the source of that problem. Now, in the last few days, I've received phone calls from a number of people I've never met before, KCCD employees, and they're telling me their stories. They're saying, you know what? They did it to me too. And they all have the same actors at the middle of this retaliatory behavior. Now, I don't know what it takes for you, how many millions of dollars you're going to have to spend to try to hide and cover up the bad behaviors of human resources. But it's got to stop. I'm out of the system now. I'm no longer a professor, so you don't have any real control over what I say anymore, which means I can come to you every month and detail the misconduct that I know is going on. I don't want to do that. Please just fix the problem. And that begins by not renewing the contract of the man that's behind so much of this. Do you know why you lost to me in court. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Let me explain. It wasn't my First Amendment rights. I would like to think that's why I won, but that's not why. The reason you lost was because during court, the testimony showed that Mr. Abe Ali was running phony investigations, that he never even consulted me, and that he presented false information as truth. That's why you lost. And now the idea that you're going to renew his contract and pay him $280,000 a year plus 2.5% increase each year is completely insane. How many millions of dollars will you have to waste? I told you people are contacting me. I can tell you, I know that there are a number of current lawsuits that the public doesn't know that you know about. There's a number of current lawsuits that are surrounded and related to Mr. Abe Ali. For example, you're currently trying to settle with Miss Erin Miller. Erin Miller's cost of settlement has skyrocketed in part because Mr. Abe Ali retaliated against her and took her classes and cost her tens of thousands of dollars. You're currently working on a lawsuit, Damon Johnson versus Watkin. That lawsuit begins with Mr. Abe Ali running an inappropriate investigation trying to intimidate Mr. Johnson, Dr. Johnson. There are a number of suits that are forthcoming. I'm telling you, I'm talking to these people and they're getting lawyers. There's in fact a lawyer in town right now building a class action suit against you. I don't know what more you need to hear. This man is a complete failure. He's cost more money to our district than any prior vice chancellor, I'm pretty sure. So to consider renewing his contract is bizarre. You know, I know you probably don't like me or want to hear from me. So let me just finish with the words of a few of our employees, because maybe they'll mean more to you. From the climate survey, I don't even know who these people are. You hear a few quotes. One employee wrote, "I have seen the college administration and the district railroad individuals voicing a different opinion than that of the status quo. The climate in the last years has been the worst. The fear of retaliation is through every college and constituency group." Another one wrote, "People are scared for retaliation and have anxiety just waking up to go to work." Another one wrote, "Absolute toxic work environment, retaliation." I ask you, who's in charge of the work environment in KCCD? Is that not human resources job? Another wrote, "There is a general sense that if one speaks up on issues, concerns, they could be retaliated against." Another one wrote, "Bullying and retaliation are big issues here. The culture of fear has been prevalent for way too long. That was unfortunately created and cultivated at the chancellor position." Before you, of course, sir. Another one wrote, "It is a hostile work environment. I fear every day. Even with complaints made from human resources, nothing is done. And the work environment has not changed. When human resources refuses to act because they want to protect management, it only makes matters worse." I don't even know who these people are, but it's widespread. Please read your own climate survey. It's clear if there was ever an evaluation from the general employees, you have it. Thank you.
Vince Miyoko, if I'm saying it correctly.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees. My name is Vince Miyoko. I live in Area 7 of the Kern Community College District. I'm also a 20-plus year faculty member and the head baseball coach at Taft College. That's why I'm wearing neutral colors today. And I want to start off with all the recent developments recently and over the last few years. I have never been more proud to be an employee at Taft College. And when I say that, I mean that there's no way I would ever want to teach or coach in the Kern Community College District because of what has occurred over the last few years. I'm addressing item 15D, and the 3-year contract renewal worth nearly $840,000 to this individual is a slap in the face to the taxpayers of the Kern Community College District. It's an absolute slap in the face. I don't know if you're aware of this, but you just recently lost nearly a $2.5 million settlement. You guys did not win, you lost. And I'll tell you right now, as a taxpayer in the Kern Community College District living in Area 7, I'm appalled. And I'm not the only one that's appalled by what has occurred with this community college district. Mr. Ali has failed miserably. And there are a lot of board members and administrators that have failed miserably over the last 3 to 4 years. People must be held accountable. They must be held accountable. And the only way to gain public trust from your taxpayers is to not renew this contract for Mr. Ali. That would go a long ways into turning the climate here in the Kern Community College District. Once again, I strongly suggest you do not renew this contract. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Daryl Powers.
Good afternoon, trustees. My name is Lawton Darren Powers. I reside at 101 Portales Real, Bakersfield, California, 93309. And I'm here to speak on the same subject the two prior speakers addressed. I'm also a member of the Greater Bakersfield Republican Assembly, California Republican Assembly, and National Republican Assembly. What has happened with Mr. Garrett is a black mark on this board. And the gaslighting that went on by the Assistant Chancellor of HR. It was a false investigation, and it will be a black mark on you forever if you renew his contract. We don't have room for people like this as administrators in the Kern Community College District. You're all looked up to. And if you approve that contract for another 3 years for this man, it'll be a black mark on all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes public comment. We're going to move to preliminary item 6, approval of consent items, business services other than construction, agenda items 9A through 9F. Business services construction, agenda items 11A through 11C. Educational services, agenda items 13A through 13D. Human resources agendas items 16A through 16B. Is there a motion? Second. And a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item B is approval of the minutes of June 13, 2024 regular meeting. Is there a motion? Motion to approve. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item C is approval of the minutes of July 12, 2024 special meeting. I have a motion. Second. And a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item D is approval of the minutes of July 18, 2024 special meeting. Is there a motion? A motion. And a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We will move to item E, correspondence to the Board of Trustees and annual communications. Chancellor.
Trustee Corkins, there's been no correspondence or communication to the board that I'm aware.
Very good. Item F is the second reading and adoption of the proposed revisions to the Kern Community College District Board Policy sections of Chapter 3, General Institution. We will take action on this item today. Is there any discussion, questions, or comments? I have a motion to approve. May I have a second? Any discussions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item G is approval of emeritus recommendations. This is an action item also. Councilor. Did you have comments on this?
I did not have comments.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Trustee Gomez, I agree. And a second, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item H is approval of the 2024-2025 KCCD Strategic Plan Addendum Extensions. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
There's a second. I hear a second. Second. Any discussion on that? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. We're going to move to item 7. It's a work study session. Trustee Meek as board finance chair will make a comment on this item.
Yes, the early college one-time funding request came before the finance committee that met recently. Early college is extremely important cost our entire district and very fruitful, large enrollment. And the program's been lacking of enough leadership and employees. And so we're coming to you today with a one-time funding request to get this back up, the level of employment that and also, I believe that it's going back to the colleges.
We are adding employees if the board approves this for Saracoso and Porterville. If we transition our employees who are currently at the district office, I'll be making that decision in the coming days.
Thank you. And after the finance committee thoroughly reviewed the request, we're moving it forward today for approval.
So this is a one-time funding request in your packet. Do you have any comments, Chancellor?
Yes, trustee Corkins, if I may call on Vice Chancellor Giacomini just to give the board highlights of this one-time proposal. And I appreciate trustee Meek and the rest of the members of the finance committee supporting this opportunity for our high school students. Vice Chancellor Giacomini.
Yes, thank you. So this started when we did the board meeting at Bakersfield College, and we were going over the budget that we're putting forth for the tentative. And there was some concerns about the level of staffing to be able to continue the immense amount of growth that we've had at all 3 colleges. And so we put forth each college put forth a program to the finance committee back in July 8th, which trustee Meek detailed quite eloquently. The ask today is for some one-time funding to come out of our reserves to cover the positions that are being asked for additional positions at Saracoso and Porterville College. And then the Bakersfield College is moving these off of some expiring grants. So these are not necessarily additional ones, but these are moving things from categorical programs to our general unrestricted fund. So it has an impact that would be adopted into the adopted budget for next month's board for review. And the total for the ask is slightly over $1 million.
So total with the ask of $1,036,965.
That's correct.
And again, as trustee Meek pointed out, finance vetted this process, met with each of the college presidents and reviewed the expenditures.
There is still some work to do with the budget to ensure that all the asks and any changes still work within our 50% law and some of the other funding things that we need to look at. And that will all come forth, provided the direction is given today for the adopted budget next month.
I don't see it as an action, but I assume we take action on this. You would vote to move it forward or by consensus?
It would be direction.
We're taking, okay, then you need direction. Is there a motion to move this request forward?
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion on it? Go ahead. Reserve. We're gonna use it out of our reserves.
For 1 year.
Yeah, it's just a 1-year commitment. Colleges think that they can become self-funding, or they may come back for a request. But we think these programs will self-fund. If you look at the program they set up on the salary, the benefits and total, they think that if they're successful, the programs will self-fund.
Trustee Carter, I might also remind you and the other members of the board that the college presidents will be providing a quarterly update to the chancellor and the board with regards to progress with enrollment in early college as well.
So we'll know how they're doing and whether. Any other questions? Yes, trustee Agnew.
Thank you, President Corkins. Along those lines of being self-sustaining, certainly we understand that this is one-time money coming out of reserves to fund the positions that are being requested. And Vice Chancellor Giacomini referred to a meeting that we held at Bakersfield College several months ago, where the board took a position to support the early college program. And so with that, I understand that presidents are going to be asked to come to this board and provide us a report in terms of progress. And we certainly want to see the progress because that's obviously a catalyst to become self-sustaining. So what type of measures do we have in place? So for example, should one of the colleges come to us and they're falling short in terms of their quote, what do we do as a district, or what can we do in addition to help them and support them to make sure they meet their goals?
Trustee Aguilar, I think that's a great question. I think that's probably why we're looking at this as a quarterly evaluation, because let's say hypothetically that we have one of our institutions that's not quite where they thought they would be. By having a quarterly benchmark, we're able to look at that and then decide if there's some things we may need to do. I'll give you a hypothetical to that situation. Let's say that they're not able to process applications. Maybe they got too many and they're falling behind. I would envision our other institutions allowing manpower from either college to come and help the other one. So I see this as a collaborative effort between our three institutions. So let's say that there's an area where we're just not quite where we thought we would be, then I'll meet with the presidents individually or as a whole to see how, as a leadership team, we can address that. I mean, clearly, we think the opportunity for growth is there. And I think that's why I'm advocating for careful monitoring by the board every quarter.
Appreciate the comment. Thank you.
So I think, again, we reached out and talked with the presidents and our hope was, and their commitment back to us, each of these positions are going to enhance existing student population or expand new student population, FTES. And the FTES will generate the funding down the road. But we've got also concerns about student loss, and we're hoping some of these positions help prevent that student loss in the future and maybe encourage these students to take more units per semester and improve their educational experience. So we saw it as a total package from all three of the presidents. Any other questions? We have a motion, a second to move this forward. Is there any other discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we're going to move to item B, the work study session on Chancellor's Office one-time funding request. Chancellor Bloom.
Yes, thank you, Trustee Corkins. I wanted to ask the privilege of Trustee Meek if she want to make any comments based upon the Finance Committee, and then I'll make some comments as well.
Yes, this came before the Finance Committee at our last meeting. The Chancellor outlined what he wants to accomplish in the next year and is requesting for a position to brought forward that we would fund, I believe, for 2 years out of reserve. The Finance Committee very strongly recommended that this be moved forward. Feel very strongly that this is a good position to have and will help moving things forward in a much more orderly fashion.
Trustee Meek, thank you. Trustees, just to give you a little bit more background information about this. First, I appreciate your support of our early college initiatives. Clearly, early college is transcendental to students who maybe never saw themselves as a college student. We know the effect that program has. We have documented history about it. I appreciate your support of that. Sort of in that same vein as chancellors, I'm looking for several initiatives to be moved forward as a result of this. And I want to be very clear in my remarks that we're also talking about a position that is non-permanent. In other words, this is not an addition to the chancellor's staffing plan. This is a position to help with the workflow over the approximate next 24 months. And so as I look at what's in front of me as chancellor of the Kern Community College District, one of my primary focuses during this time is working with our leadership at the district office, working with our leadership at our campuses as we continue to dive into our culture survey, as we continue to look at different ways to engage our constituents, empower our faculty, our staff, our leaders. The more we empower our personnel, the more difference we make in the lives of our students. And so this is allowing me as chancellor to spend the appropriate time that I need to spend with all of our employees across 25,000 square miles And it gives me the opportunity to advance some other agenda items. As the board is aware, I'm pursuing some initiatives as it relates to hydrogen energy. If you know anything about hydrogen, it's a clean energy source. It can be produced by many different ways. There's some grant opportunities we're pursuing. I believe there's a great opportunity. The United States Department of Energy estimates that 675,000 new jobs will result in the next 10 years directly related to hydrogen fuel cell technology. There's a great opportunity for this district to help its students and its future employers staff hydrogen-related facilities with skilled workers. And as you know, that's a hallmark of our district is our workforce development effort. So I see this position helping the chancellor move forward these agendas. It will allow me the opportunity to concentrate on working with our district leadership, our college leadership, as we continue to engage in professional development with our employees. There is a job description that you have in your board material. Trustee Corkins, that concludes my response unless there's any questions by the members of the board.
Any questions or comments? Yeah.
Trustee Carr, I agree with hydroponics. I know Bakersfield College is doing work on hydroponics now in their agriculture program. And obviously hydroponic growing is critical. I mean, you can do vertical hydroponic growing and take up such a small space and provide a food product for hundreds of people. So I concur with you. I'll make sure that Dr. Flagler and I have that discussion in our conversations as well.
Any other comments? Need a motion to approve this office one-time funding. It's 500,000 over 2 years. You have a motion? I have a motion. Is there a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Very good. We will move to business services approval, item 8A. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into an agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Portable College and the Foundation for California Community Colleges for telehealth, telemental health services with timely care. Term is from July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2026. Cost to the district is not to exceed $304,842 to be paid by RP 512 restricted funds. Is there a motion? I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Trustee Aguilar goes out of the room, please. Item B is authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a service agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and Kern County Superintendent of Schools for the provision of food services for Child Development Center children. Term is from July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025. Cost to the district is not to exceed $200,000 to be paid from FD 400 Child Development Center funds. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
A motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a service agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracosa Community College and Ridgecrest Baskins Inc. for the operation of Coyote Kitchen on the IWB campus. The term is from August 1, 2024 through May 31, 2027. Cost to the district is not to exceed $120,000 to be paid from GU 001 unrestricted funds. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 9 was business services consent. We'll move to item 10, business services approval, 10A. Authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a revised work authorization between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and PBK for the Bakersfield College Student Housing Project. Term is per the master agreement. The revised amount increases the original work authorization by $447,875 from $2,284,375 to $2,732,250 to be paid from BC 106 Student Housing Grant. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item ten B, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a construction agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College Metro Floors, Inc. for the Bakersfield College Science and Engineering Phase 2 floor rubber top set base project. The term is from August 9, 2024 through November 15, 2024. Cost to the district is not to exceed $397,602 to be paid from MJ 100 local capital outlay funds. Is there a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 11 was business services consent. Item 12 is educational services approval. Item 12A, approval of the attached curriculum reports of courses, programs, and certificates and new community services education courses offerings as part of the district curriculum for Bakersfield College. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 12B is authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into an educational agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Porterville College and State of California Department of General Services, Porterville Developmental Center for funding to support the psychiatric technical program. Term is from July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025. The amount payable to the district is not to exceed $397,286 to be deposited into RP 527 restricted program fund. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a grant agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and the Southern San Joaquin Valley Cal Soap Consortium. Term is July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025. The amount payable to the district is not to exceed $426,949.74 to be deposited into RP 659 restricted program funds. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Takes us item 13, which is consent, educational services. Moving to item 14, workforce economic development approval. Item 14A, approval for the chief financial officer to execute an agreement between Kern Community College District and Santa Clarita Community College District on behalf of College of the Canyons as sub-agreement to the Department of Energy, Office of Manufacturing and Energy Supply Chains for the Industrial Assessment Center IAC program. IACs at Trade School, Community College, and Union Training Programs and Building Training and Assessment Center programs. The term of the agreement is June 1, 2024 through March 31, 2027. Cost to the district is $213,983 to be paid from RP 682 restricted program funds. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Item B, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute an agreement between Kern Community College District and Regents of the University of California on behalf of the University of California, Irvine as a sub-agreement to the Department of Energy Office of Manufacturing and Energy Supply Chains for the Industrial Assessment Center IAC program, IACs at Trade School, Community College, and Union Training Programs and Building Training and Assessment Center programs. The term of the agreement is June 1, 2024 to March 31, 2027. Cost to the district is $205,767, $205,767 to be paid from RP 682 restricted program funds. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a multi-party shared resource funds and corporate cooperative research and development agreement between the Kern Community College District and the Alliance for Sustainable Energy Solutions LLC and the Foundation for California Community Colleges to develop a process and resources for driving microgrid and renewable energy deployment at community college campuses across the state of California. Term of the agreement is 3 years from the final execution of the agreement. Cost to the district is $750,000 to be paid from RP 040 CREL restricted program funds. Is there a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item D. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a contract between Kern Community College District as the fiscal agent of the Central Valley Mother Lode Regional Consortium and Lauren Kelly Coaching and Consulting LLC to provide CTE instructor training for the 15 community colleges in the consortium. Term is July 1, 2024 through December 31, 2024. The cost to the district is $100,000 to be paid from RP 676 restricted program funds. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item E. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a master services agreement between the Kern Community College District as the fiscal agent for the Central Valley Mother Lode Regional Consortium and Job Speaker. The term is July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2026. Cost to the district is $789,544 to be paid from RP 676 restricted program funds. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item F. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a contract between the Kern Community College District as the fiscal agent of the Central Valley Mother Lode Regional Consortium and Linked to provide a regional subscription to Linked Learn Partial Campus Solution for Career Education Learning. The term is September 25, 2024 through September 24, 2025. Cost to the district is $196,700 to be paid from RP 676 restricted program fund. Is there a motion? We get a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. Second discussion. Pull your microphone down so they can hear you.
Can you explain this one? I just couldn't get grasp it.
So I believe the contract here with LinkedIn is they have other services other than what you're more commonly used to with LinkedIn as more of a networking for business professionals. There is training sides to this and this grant here utilizes this to bring in all the members throughout the state together to do training platforms. And LinkedIn is being utilized as that source for these professionals.
What kind of training? Job placement?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure.
Trustee Carter, my understanding is that it's ongoing professional development related training, so it's not necessarily job placement.
I was real puzzled by it.
Any other comments? I have a motion is second. Any comments from the rest of the board? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Opposed. Motion passes. We will move to 15A, Human Resources Approval.
Chairman Corkins,
Go ahead.
before you get into that, I would like to ask that under human resources approval, that items be pulled and evaluated the comparable.
Okay, so what I will do is take A, B, when I move to C and D, you can give me a motion to, you want a table or pull the items, the agenda. Okay,
A B and
C and D.
E.
B. Well, B is Vice Chancellor, Business Administration. C is Vice Chancellor, Educational Service, which I believe we have to approve
Yes.
today.
B and
So
D.
B and D, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Boy and
Gotcha. So let me take item 15A, and then I'll take 15B with you, trustee Meek. Adoption of the memorandum of understanding between the Kern Community College District and California School Employees Association, chapters 246, 336, 617 regarding classified compensation and health and welfare benefits. I have a motion for approval.
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 15B, trustee Meek has expressed that she would like to, I believe, see the item 15B tabled until the September meeting and have the
I'd like to look into the
comparable districts for
into.
comparable salary ranges. Is that the motion? That's for item 15B. I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll move to item 15C as in cat. Did I get it right? Approval is recommended for the employment contract of Vice Chancellor Educational Services and Student Success. The contract will be effective from August 12, 24 to June 30, 2026. Board will consider approval of the contract of employment for Vice Chancellor Educational Services and Student Services. The contract again provides for a term employment from August 12, 2024 until June 30, 2026, unless terminated sooner at the initial annual salary rate of $240,375.69 in fiscal year 24-25, and an increase of in fiscal year 25-26 of 2.5%, or the percentage increase of the consumer price index for all urban consumers of California for the prior calendar year, whichever is higher, contingent on satisfactory evaluation with health and welfare benefits on the same terms as provided to other district management employees, and 1 day sick leave and 2 days of paid vacation leave accrued per month. Chancellor, did you have any comments on this contract?
Yes, thank you, trustee Corkin. So this is the contract for the new vice chancellor for educational services and student success. This position has been unfilled through our collaborative processes. The committees that interviewed directly and unanimously recommended Dr. Stacy Pfluger to be the district's new chief academic officer and chief student support officer. It has my full support. She is scheduled to start in the very near future. This contract will allow her to again assimilate her duties with the Kern Community College District. I'm looking forward to working with her in the very near future. She is not here today, trustee Meek. She is actually traveling to California as we speak.
Any questions or comments?
Or none, I'll move to approve.
I have a motion to approve. I have a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C is approved. Item D, trustee Meek, I believe you would move to have this tabled until next month and until comparable districts are looked at for this salary position. It's your motion.
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Items B and D are tabled until the September meeting. Item 17, consent committee, ad hoc committee reports, foundation activities, trustee liaison, board finance and audit committee, trustee Meek.
Oh. Yes, at our last meeting, we've already discussed, but we also went through an update on the state budget, a discussion on surplus property, the potential need to use the remaining Measure C Mammoth Lake bonds, the temporary staffing request already talked about.
Any questions? Very good. I'm going to move to item 18, facilities report links. They were in your packet. If anyone has any questions, we could take them at this point. If not, I will move to item B, faculty reports. Item C, classified reports.
Good afternoon, board. My name is Victor Crossway, current CSA president for Bakersfield College, chapter 336. This is my vice president, Zach Warden. And we really just wanted to speak about the new interest-based bargaining that we started going into. So I'll go ahead and let Zach take over.
Hello, board. My name is Zach Warden. I am the chapter 336 vice president. We recently got into the negotiation cycle using the interest-based bargaining system, which we feel has been super productive. We've been able to come together, collaborate with some great ideas that are mutually beneficial on all sides of the negotiating table. So we are super excited to continue with that process and see where it takes us. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
I would also like to say thank you for approving our first MOU out of that process.
Yes, thank you.
Item D is Management Association reports.
President Corkins, trustees, Chancellor Bloomberg, staff and communities. I'm Chad Houck. I'm the new president of the KCC Management Association. In your packet, you have our report, which is our 23-24 accomplishments and 24-25 goals. It's a document that our executive board gets together and works on each summer. Our past president, Bonita Steele, did a great job of keeping you all up to date with our progress on each of our accomplishments during the year. During this next year, we're going to be trying to focus our growth, growing our support of our managers beyond the 3 signature practices that you've heard of repeatedly. There are lunch and learns that we do for our managers. There's also the manager of the month that we present each month, and the symposium, which we've done 3 times. And we, of course, want to continue doing for a 4th, a 5th, and so on. Some of the new initiatives that are also listed in our document. We've got several projects that are maybe smaller, but we believe can also have a big impact on culture throughout the district. And one of the key things that we're going to be doing that's a little different is assigning project leads and having those project leads reach outside of our executive board to try and help build capacity within our management association by bringing more participation beyond just our executive board. So we're looking forward to that. So with one of those signature practices is our manager of the month. And since this is my first time in this capacity presenting, I want to emphasize that the manager of the month is not something that we consider as an award. Although we take nominations from our entire management association, it's meant to be a recognition of a manager or two, specifically about something they've done recently that we want to make sure you all know about. Oftentimes managers are they're unsung as well, and it's important that they get represented. The first of 2 that I want to recognize today is kind of he was nominated, but then he left before we could actually recognize him as a manager of the month. So it's more of a special recognition. That's Thatcher Weldon. He joined our district in 2018 to fill the role of a new position, the Director of Adult Education. At the time, it was a block grant. It's now a full program at the state level. We have more than 15 partners in our entire service area that are providing adult education. And of course, our 3 colleges. And Thatcher's job was to help coordinate that entire consortium. I was part of adult ed for a little bit in a previous role, and at conferences, I was able to learn repeatedly that our consortium was one of the best in the state to be a part of. And that was largely due to the work that Thatcher did. He was able to coordinate the different needs while also maintaining a supportive and collaborative team that's made up of a bunch of administrators that are all wrestling for the same pots of money. Thatcher was nominated to be manager of the month by his peers. Like I said, he moved on, and we wanted to recognize him with a special recognition for his contributions to KCCD and all of our adult education partners. For our manager of the month, she's here in this room. KCCD Management Association would like to recognize Bonita Steele as our manager of the month. As you know, she was our past president for the last 2 years. What you might not know about is the countless hours that she invested in the association's goals and members. It was not uncommon for her to be working definitely on our projects late into the night, early in the morning, on the weekends, and every once in a while, even on her vacation. Her dedication to the association came at a delicate time for the association when we needed to put significant focus on the value proposition for our members. As a result, programs like our Lunch and Learns and the Manager of the Month and the Symposium have significantly evolved under her leadership. As she transitions from the president to a site rep, she's still on our exec board, so we still get to have her help. We want her to be recognized for her work through the Management Association to strengthen our managers and by extension, the culture in our district. You can help me recognize Monita Steele. Thank you. That concludes our report for this month.
Thank you. College reports.
President Corkins, trustees, Chancellor Bloomberg. You have my report in board docs. Just want to highlight a couple things, as the summer is coming to a close, we're of course focusing on enrollment. And we've got numerous rapid enrollment events coming up in the coming days. Speaking of early college, earlier, we anticipate a 10% increase in the number of sections offered at our high schools, our partner high schools. So we're excited about that. Something that continues to show that we're coming out of COVID, continue to come out of COVID with face-to-face enrollment. The Indian Wells Valley campus is currently sitting at 19% increase in head count year over year in specific to face-to-face enrollment. And so looking forward to seeing much more active campus. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
President, Chancellor, trustees, you have my report in front of you. In addition to the information included in that, we are gearing up for the start of the new year. So as always, let me extend an invitation to visit our college at any point that you like. Also, you will be receiving invitations from me to attend some events on campus this year. We are putting a concerted effort into supporting our athletics and our extracurricular activities. So I'd ask you to take the opportunity. I'll send a few dates to be my guest at one of those events. Thank you.
Thank you.
President Corkins, trustees, Chancellor Bloomberg, Primavera Menards, interim president at Portable College. We had the honor of Congressman Fong visiting our Portable campus this summer. I would like to personally thank Trustee Corkins and the foundation board member Gary Reed for arranging this visit. We showcase the strides we're making to support student success. He visited our summer jumpstart program and our new allied health building. The campus was deeply appreciative of the visit. The visit not only highlighted the importance of the programs, but also reinforces the value and collaboration of educational institutions and supporters and partnerships. This summer, as mentioned earlier, is career education. Their team held 3 summer jumpstarts, pre-first responders, the drone academy, as well as culinary fundamentals for 46 high school students locally. The Jumpstart model is a 4-week project-based program that enhances internship programs with current high school juniors. This also is an example of expanding the pathways from high school to the California Community College system. We held a Pirate in a Day event yesterday, assisting 125 students who registered for fall courses. We're gearing up for Flex Day, Welcome Week, and the fall semester starting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chancellor's report.
Trustee Corkins, thank you. My report is contained in the board materials. I want to take just a moment as I prepare to round out the first 180 days as chancellor of this district. I wanted to take a quick moment and thank all of our team across almost 26,000 square miles. I have been at every location that we offer courses. I have talked to our management staff, our classified staff. I'll be speaking with faculty early this fall. And I just want the board to know and everyone to know we have great people powering this organization, and organizations are structures. In order for structures to be efficient and accomplish what they're set out to do, it requires great people who believe in the same thing. And I just want everyone to know that our team believes in the same thing. And that is empowering the potential of students, making sure that students understand that they have a chance to alter their life. You heard President Hancock talk about the growth at his college. Our presidents are committed to ensuring that not only are we open for business, that we're open to success. And I want to commend the presidents, their leadership teams, our classified staff, our faculty, our maintenance and operations. Everybody in this district matters. Every job in this district is important. Every job is integral to who we are and what we are. I want the board to know that I am unequivocally proud of this team. Thank you to our team that's in this room, that's out in the district. that does the great work to help students. Trustee Corkins, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Start with our student trustee. Report, anything?
Good afternoon. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. So I did attend a student trustee workshop in San Francisco this past weekend. And we were briefed on parliamentary procedure, advocacy, Robert's Rules of Order, and participatory governance. We were also given details of the legislative process within our roles and our 9+1 rights as students. What I found really interesting about this is that I went in trying to learn new things from different community colleges. And I don't know if I can say this, but I'm proud of saying that instead of learning, I experienced different things because even though we were briefed on all of this, my student government and my advisors, Leonardo Ayala, does such a great job on briefing us about all of these procedures that are very important to us as students. And I was looked up as an older sister of the community colleges because we've done so much progress and because our student government is really large now, up to 20 students in our BCSGA. And I know that in Porterville, there's at least an executive office and in Saracoso as well. And we were also using the knowledge and experience gained throughout the weekend. And I want to ensure to connect with our sister colleges, student presidents to implement a stronger knowledge of these procedures. And I just want to emphasize that I didn't know how privileged I was to be in such a loving district until I went and I saw different perspectives from different students, because now one of the questions was, how did we have such a well-functioning student pantry? And most of them were trying to fight for a closet, which we did in 2009. This was brought by student government. And even though I didn't know how it started, I know that people before me were kind of keeping an eye on me for the future. And I felt very, very grateful to be where I am right now and to see how people looked up to our district. And it just makes me really proud of being here today. So thank you for taking me there. Also, Bakersfield College will be hosting the KCCD Student Government Leadership Retreat on August 12th from 8 to 3:30 p.m. And Taft College Associated Student Organization will also be joining us this year. So we are excited to learn from each other and become a stronger district. So thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Scrivener.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I will say that perhaps that was the best part of the meeting today, just to hear back from our students that they feel seen, they feel that they're worthy of investment and that they feel empowered. So on that note, that will conclude my comments.
Trustee Carter.
I too wasn't going to say anything today. However, I do appreciate your comments. It's informing, especially in light of some of the other comments today. Also, it was a little off key, but I do appreciate the incoming Management Association president. Appreciate his professionalism and the dress that he brings to the meeting. It shows great professionalism. And I appreciate that, and it shows respect for the district. This meeting, thank you very much. We talked about a lot of rough things today. I heard a lot of rough things. Did you pause for thought? Certainly did me. However, I believe the direction that we are going in is the correct direction. I am not wavered from that one bit. So.
Trustee Lee.
Yes, I'd like to thank you for those comments too. Student trustee on our board meeting. Representative. And just from your comments today, it's very apparent how much dedication. Thank you.
Trustee Aguilar.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not.
Take a breath, huh?
Much as you've talked today. Okay. Sorry.
Once in a while, you just gotta jerk them around.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I appreciated a lot of comments today. And I appreciate the work that Dr. Bloomberg has done. And the direction he. And the addition of your approval today of these additional. Functions that are gonna help us a lot. And also, early college has always been very successful. But I'm looking forward to, the direction it's gonna be. One other item, I'd like to request an item be placed on the September. I would request the release of the vote on Matt Garrett. Thank you, and then
And we'll add that to the agenda. Trustee Agnew.
Thank you, President Corkins. I will not jerk you around, but I will try to be
It's okay.
brief with my comments. You know, I want to thank the student trustee for sharing her perspective, and I want to say how much it means to me to see young persons participate in the governance capacity the way that you do, and you represent our students very, very well. You know, I want to thank Trustee Meek as well for her comments. I know she made many today, but you know, in a prior life, I worked for an organization that pushed pretty heavy on the topic of transparency. And I think that, you know, having a conversation about votes and things like that is something that all trustees are prepared to do as part of our role and responsibility as elected officials. And so looking forward to that discussion. And from a personal standpoint, I think it's an opportunity to clear the air over a lot of, I think, assumptions that folks have in terms of where we stand on our issues. But with that, you know, a couple months ago, we met at Bakersfield College, and this board stood together in support of the early college program. And today we approved $1 million in reserve funding to support that project. It's more than just words. Today we moved with action. And, you know, as trustees and as staff folks, we oftentimes get into the weeds on the how and the operations of how we do what it is that we do. And sometimes we need to pause and reflect on the why. You know, in May, I had an opportunity to attend 2 pre-commencement ceremonies. And of course, the main graduation at Bakersfield College held at the Memorial Stadium. And in that, in those events, I had an opportunity to meet the acquaintance of a young mother. And I had the opportunity to see her walk across the stage at Robert Kennedy Auditorium in Delano. And she got to participate in the pre-commencement ceremony as a graduate of the Delano Campus Center. And I had a conversation with her after that ceremony, and she wanted to thank me for the investment that the college district had made in expanding the Delano Campus Center. And she told me about all of the wonderful services that she was able to take advantage of while she was there. For example, tutoring. She had an opportunity to use the lab. She had an opportunity to talk to folks who provided input on financial aid, her registration, and her counseling, all close to home. And why was that important? Well, because this young lady was a mother, 2 children, and she desired an education, but the Delano Campus Center just happened to be a place where she could get it because it was close to home. Now, what makes that remarkable is while she was one of thousands of BC students who walked across the stage at Memorial Stadium, what makes it unique is that her journey through Bakersfield College began at the Delano Center. Now, I know that sounds repetitive, but I want to make it clear. It was the old Delano Campus Center on Randolph Street. She started at the old Delano Campus Center. And to put things in perspective, I went to the Delano Campus Center. Trustee Gomez Heitzberg knows the old Delano Campus Center very well, having run it many, many years ago. That campus center has been defunct and it's been shuttered for over a decade, and we haven't used it in a very long time. So to put it in perspective, her career began when she was in her late teens. She finally earned her 2-year degree in her 30s. That's how long it took for her to make it. Now, why is early college important? Well, it's important for one reason. She has an incoming freshman at McFarland High School. He's 14. He will be an early college participant. What she really wants more than anything is for her son to avoid what it is that she had to go through. So while I commend her and her almost 20-year journey through Bakersfield College, that's why early college is so important to us, so that we can help students like him avoid what she had to go through. Now, granted, I'm happy that she did what it is that she did. I think it gives her son a lot of perspective in terms of the grit mom had, and how important education is to her. But we want to make sure that, 15, 20-year journeys through a 2-year process shouldn't happen again. This is why early college is so important. And to me, it's not just a responsibility, it's a moral responsibility for us. Now, I will tell you, while it's a unique story, there are many stories very much like it in our rural communities. And I know Trustee Gomez Heitzberg, having served as director of the Delano Center, can tell you a lot of those stories. I was one. And I will tell you, there was times when I had to make a decision whether I was going to go to work or take a class, because I didn't have enough gas in my car to do it. So with that, thank you.
Trustee Giovanni.
Well, thank you, Student Trustee Seca, for taking the lead and attending the conference. It's wonderful to hear when you attend the conference how Bakersfield College, Kern Community College District, and Third Coastal and Porterville College are leading across the state and the nation. So really happy about the work that we have done in the last years, and looking forward to the work that we will continue to do in the next years. Also, I'm looking forward to attending some of the events across the 3 campuses for the fall. And in specific, Hispanic Heritage Month is coming. So I think it starts September 15th. So we're a Hispanic serving institution. So looking forward to attending some of those events as well. Looking forward to attending soccer games. I'm a big soccer fan, and I'm super happy that we're investing some money in improving our soccer fields. And I also want to highlight an event I attended. I attended an event at Bakersfield College called Alegría Mexicana. It was put forward by the Folklorico Club, and it was such a wonderful event. It was a 3-hour dancing and music event, and where you were able to see families come together. You were able to see little kids dancing together, and yes, connecting to the Hispanic heritage and to our community here. And it was put together by our Folklorico Club and with the support of Bakersfield College. So I was really happy to attend that. And lastly, I want to extend our welcome to our 2 new vice presidents of student services. The one at Bakersfield College, Dr. Cesar Jimenez, and the vice president of student services at Porterville College, Erin Winfield. So welcome to our family. That concludes my comments.
Trustee Gomez Heitzberg.
Well, thank you, Cindy, for reminding all of us that you're the reason that we're here. And thank you, Romeo, for reminding us that when school starts in 1 week, 2 weeks? Oh my, there will be many stories that we will tell in 1 month and 2 months and 5 years, hopefully not 20-year stories. But nevertheless, each one of them will be valuable, and each one of them will be special because they will affect a whole family and probably a neighborhood, not just a family. When I think about the projects that are going on in our district and at the state level, and I'm reflecting now on the Board of Governors meeting that I attended within this last month, I'm thinking about apprenticeships. I'm thinking about that adult learner. I'm thinking about credit for prior learning. I'm thinking about competency-based education. And I'm really looking forward to BC stepping up, Saracosa stepping up, Porterville stepping up with the innovative and creative approaches that each one of you bring, because they're all slightly different, to serve that adult student and the communities that you have. And I know each one will be unique and fit your communities, but I'm sure it will be marvelous and just really excited to see how you're going to bring that forward and manifest it for our district as a whole. So looking forward to that.
Thank you. Thank you, trustees, for your comments. Thank you, student
Sorry.
trustee. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to add, I never have been in a position where I am today. I think that I push myself, to do a lot. I bite more off than I can chew. And, to be in San Francisco, which was my very first time, it was so cold. It- my advisor was like, take some sweaters, and I did not listen. So I was freezing. But it was so exciting to travel to places where I can't be. And as a first generation student from immigrants, and I'm setting the example for my little siblings. I'm doing so much, and the fact that I felt that others around California community colleges were looking up to Bakersfield College, to Porterville, to Saracoso was just mind-boggling to me, because I went in with the mentality of, let's see what I'm gonna learn, instead I was like, okay, what can I teach them? And that, I never thought I would be there. And just memorizing Robert's Rules of Order and following participatory governance and making sure everything was good in my position, just kind of placed me in a position where I was like, okay, I finally know what I'm doing. And being privileged for once in my life felt so nice. And now I know why people search for higher education. And I strive for many more students like me to follow opportunities like these. So I thank you all.
Very good. Thank you for your comments. Look up Mark Twain, because Mark Twain was a great writer and said the coldest winter I ever spent was the summer in San Francisco. You went there once and never went back. Oh, and I learned that in college. I think somebody told me. You help remind us that the business we're in is education. The purpose of education is to make better citizens, I think, in the long run, and to make you better prepared to survive in this sometimes demoralizing but exciting time we live in. And I continue to remind the trustees, and we do often from Finance Committee with Trustee Meek, when she lets me talk and doesn't matter, but she's always right. This is a big business we run. It's a very big business. I think a lot of people forget just how big a business it is. It's a very big district. I ask the chancellor almost every meeting, how you like it so far? And he reminds me, he feels like the guy that fell off the building. He says, so far, so good. So, got a good administrative staff. We've got good people working for us, and we appreciate what they're doing. Sometimes the train jumps the tracks a little bit, but that's life in any business. And I run a couple of businesses, and it's never simple. So thank you all for your efforts. Thank you, trustees, for your efforts. We appreciate it, and we are adjourned.
No, I don't.